Wow, the 20th day of November 2025. Family Matters right here. And today we are on Matters Relationship. Welcome, and remember, we are here just to give you, we are just here to talk to you about Matters Relationship. And on this day, we'll be talking about the empty nesting, coping with empty nesting. What is empty nesting all about? Is it about... Actually, we're just having a discussion around it right now. Is there partial empty nesting? Is there a full-time empty nesting, And sometimes you ask yourself, if you're just standing at your doorway and you look at your child driving off to college or probably moving into their first home, that mix of joy and sometimes hectic, actually that defines empty nesting. It's a moment of pride, but also a reminder that life is shifting. So today we are talking about that, how to cope with that shift, how to redefine your purpose, and how to embrace this season with strength and hope. And thank you so much for joining us this morning. As I had said, I'm joined by an amazing, amazing panel of, a lady who's actually walked this journey, and they'll be helping us unpack this particular topic. And Seraphine Kathurima is a pioneer consultant, a woman of many fasts. She'll be telling us about that, a mother to 3 adult children and a doting grandma to 4 incredible grandchildren. And also, she'll be letting us into her current world as an empty nester and how she's coping with that situation. Then there's also Francis Kadhamba, a relationship coach with a background in clinical psychology and has over 20 years of experience in this field. He's also here to give us professional insights on how to really cope with this season of life. My name is Salilimo. Welcome to the program. Remember, to be part of this conversation, you can join us on 20316 SMS line 0786 316 316. That is our WhatsApp line, just to get to be part of this conversation. Karibuni sana, my good people.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for making it in good time, early enough, for us to start the show in good time. And I'll start with you, Francis, to introduce yourself. Then we go to Seraphine.
So, yes, I am Francis Kathambana. Yes, I have been working as a therapist in here for the last, actually 25 years, 26 years.
Whoa.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So it's been a while.
5 years from it, huh? Wow.
Yes. So, yeah, I love working with families. I love especially working with couples.
Yeah.
And I just like telling people my latest how do you call professional milestone?
All right.
I became a herbalist. Yes. I'm finding that very, very interesting.
Yeah.
But it's all helping people with mental health issues. Okay. Yes.
Karibu sana.
Asante.
Now we'll call you Daktari Herbalist. Okay, and you're Karibu. Serafina, your turn.
Thank you very much, Sally, for inviting me to this show this morning. Yes, I am Seraphina Kathurima, a pioneer HR consultant. That's one thing I know to do. I've done since way back, from 1984 actually. Became the first Kenyan-born HR consultant at PwC. Then it was called Pricewaterhouse Associates. Yeah, and I like and love what I do.
Yeah.
I'm also a business owner. Yeah, a wellness business where I help people understand and learn how to live happier, longer, and healthier lives, like me.
Like you,
yes.
Absolutely.
Yes,
the woman of many fasts. I know if we start that one, we would finish that, but I know there's so many fasts that,
Yes.
Yeah, so karibuni sana, and thank you so much. And
happy.
probably, Francis, I'll start with you just to start us off, to set the ball rolling. From a clinical perspective, what is empty nesting?
So the best way to think about emptiness is children have left.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're all alone. Yeah, and children may leave for all various reasons. They have grown up. Yeah, they have gotten jobs outside of the country.
Yeah.
Basically, it's a situation where the children have left, and all of a sudden you're left alone, trying to figure out now what do you do with the rest of your life. So in majority of the time, the emptiness refers to, especially for those parents who are very, very entwined with their children.
Yeah.
Now, when the children do leave, then they are left feeling completely empty because they don't have anything. They don't have the meaning for their life, kind of has ceased. So there are all those things that will come with that, the grieving for the depression,
Yeah.
the looking for what else to do. They're asking of the questions of who am I? Yeah.
Right.
What next? Yes.
Okay. Wow. And to just bring into the conversation, Serafina, how has motherhood been for you? First, how many children do you have, and how has motherhood been for you?
Thank you. I have 3 adult children, and motherhood has been a fun journey.
Yeah.
It was an adventure for me, and I thank God for my mother, because I'm the oldest in my family, a family of 11.
Wow.
And I had the opportunity and the blessing to help her bring up my siblings.
Okay.
Yes, and that really helped me when my journey of motherhood began, because, for example, I had learned how to hold a baby and give the baby a bath before I had my own child.
Yeah.
Because she would ask me to support her, to help her. And anything that I didn't understand, I always asked her. She was in my life throughout.
Wow.
So for me, motherhood was a really exciting journey. I even remember I used to write notes when my firstborn, Stephanie, when she made, she called the first name, when she walked. I used to write those little notes to remind myself.
Yeah.
And then also I was a student when I got married, and so was my husband. And we were learning child psychology at the time. So my daughter became, like a testimony of what the teacher would say, what the lecturer is saying. I was at Kenyatta University. And our lecturer was very lively. She used to talk about the stages of a baby growing. And I saw them
this was
live
your case study.
in my daughter. And my classmates would come some days and they would watch, and some of them even wondered, don't you feel uneasy when you're breastfeeding the baby? What does it feel like? So for me, it was an adventure. It was a fun journey.
Right.
I had a lovely time. I had excellent support from my parents, my brothers-in-law, my siblings. It was amazing.
Okay.
I never felt a lack of support in bringing up my firstborn.
Okay.
And it was similar even with the others.
All right.
It was a fun journey. Motherhood has been great.
You know, Francis, when you started, you said there's that emptiness that someone feels. There's that probably even anxiety. Why is it that for some parents, it's easier to let go, while for others, there's that struggle? You know, what happens?
I think it boils down to how you have lived your life previously. Depending on how you have been and what your focus has been, there is this thing where some parents really focus on their children. And probably that's more of, I don't know whether I would say it's a female thing. I don't know whether it's, but you find that, for example, there are some mothers who really feel that their life revolves around their children. It's I don't know whether it's a bad thing.
Mostly mothers compared to fathers, you think?
So yes, mothers compared to fathers. But fathers also have the same thing.
Okay.
Because then the role of the father has been, I have been paying school fees, I have been watching this lady walk around the kids, I have been on the periphery supporting, Now the children are gone.
So for them,
so now what's my now what's my role? Now we
Yeah.
can see that the lady is struggling because she's not taking care of the children. But even the man now knows we've always engaged through the kids one way or another. Now the kids are not there. How do I now engage with this other woman?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it goes both ways. But one of the things is that they have been focusing more on the children or the family, because that's the other thing about it. There's a way people when they get married, it's about let's bring up the children, let's do the family thing. It's about school.
The conversation is around the kids.
It's around the kids. Yeah. the job is let's get them, let's help them grow up and get out. You know, that's what we're told. We go to school, grow up, get out. So it's a focus has been on the children, on making sure they are growing, they're making sure what it is that they're getting. Now they are gone.
Then what? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So that's where the struggle comes in.
Yes.
And you know, for you, Serafina, I don't know if you had those struggles, you know, especially now when the last one, the third one, the baby of the house now was leaving. How was it like? What did you feel? What did you go through?
Thank you for that question. When I see the word how to cope with the empty nest, I ask myself a question: why is it being called coping? Because coping gives the impression of a struggle, difficulty, something hard to do.
Right.
And therefore, as a parent, I did not think that was something that was difficult to do or that I was struggling with.
Yeah.
But the one thing that, the most amazing thing that I remember about when my children left, when my last one left, was the fact that I would come home from work and I used to get into the house and greet them. So when they went, funny thing is, it didn't happen with my first two.
Yeah.
When they went to study abroad, and I was here, their father was alive then. Now, when it was my son's turn to go, he went after his father had passed on.
Okay.
And I remember it was traumatizing. I would get home and I would call his name.
Yeah.
I'm back. I have forgotten that my son is not there.
Wow.
He's abroad. And the house help would have to remind me, hey, mama, wajua kijana hayuko. And I would go to my bedroom and say, God, what have I done?
Yeah.
So that, for me, was a very defining moment to try and get into my head the fact that even my son is not here. You know, he's gone to study. And the thing that helped me was the fact that I started doing different things. Okay. First, I prayed a lot, not to feel as if my children have abandoned me.
Right.
Because they are going to study was a choice that we made as a family.
Yes.
My husband and I, we wanted them to study abroad. So I had to pray to understand that now I have a new life, a different life. The other thing that helped me was that I got a job. I became very busy.
Okay.
Number three, I prayed a lot. Then the other thing that happened, I got new friends. And I got involved in many activities to do with church, with people, my family, always looking out for family members. That is one of the things I've not stopped doing to this day.
Okay.
I'm the one who is looking up, calling them, how are you doing? Where have you been? Why haven't I heard from you? So I started doing things that would fill my life with joy, instead of feeling as if I'm abandoned, because I'm telling myself, this is a choice I made for my children to be away to study. And it cannot be something that makes me unhappy. It's just a different state of affairs.
Right.
Yes. And
So
I got new friends. Yeah.
Let me also share a little bit, because it's always important. 4 years ago, my daughter went to secondary school, and my son the same year also started campus. So all of a sudden, I also found myself
empty nest.
An empty nest, but not because they are very far, but they are still around.
Yes.
So they would definitely come home over the holiday, but me and my wife were telling ourselves we are actually empty nesters. And I still remember she's saying that first few weeks, I was used to getting home and my daughter is there and my son is there, and I know as soon as we come home, they would all come and we would crowd into the bedroom and they're telling me stories. And then all of a sudden, here I am. It's quiet.
Yeah.
And that shift is actually something.
It is.
It actually hits, it actually changes how you're looking at yourself.
Life.
All of a sudden, all my priorities.
Yeah.
And yes, you know, there are people who say now, now you have the time to start knowing each other better. It's an effort. It actually takes effort.
But you know that Francis, that conversation, I love that you brought it up because it's what Serafina and we were all here when we were talking about just before the show.
Yes.
Because again, it's about friendship. Because if you're not friends as a couple, Serafina, how then can you empty nest? You know, can you be friends when the kids are away? And you are talking about that.
I joked. I actually tell my friends, many of them who have spouses, the children have gone. Even when I call them, I ask them, how is the honeymoon going? You now have time to have another honeymoon, to become even better friends than you are when the children were at home, because there is so much that you do as a parent that you may forget each other.
Absolutely.
Because your children become a priority. You're thinking about them, their welfare, whatever their needs are, even the friendships they are making, whether they are away from home or not. So you actually sometimes forget yourself. So I joke with my friends and I tell them, now you have an opportunity to become friends again. Have another honeymoon. Have fun, go to places together, and recall how you met. So that you become best friends. Even better than you were before, because you have had the opportunity to bring up children and you've learned things about yourself that you didn't know, things about him that you didn't know, that make you more tolerant, for example, more understanding when things are not working. You have a real partner that you can talk to this time. That's what I usually say.
And you know, I love that, but let's go back to the mindset shift, because you know, Serafina's talked about she had to now, you know, in her mind, that my kids are still here and all that. But then she had now to sit and say, hey, by the way, we made this decision, they're gone. What is the importance of that mindset shift?
So in her case, I like the fact that there was actually a deliberate process. Yeah. Because, yes, we have agreed A, B, C, and D, and therefore when this particular time comes, then we know it's a natural progression. And it's perfect. But now, what we see, like what I see a lot of when I'm working with couples, is that couples don't have that deliberate, intentional planning that is required around kids. So we might say that we want our kids to go to this school, but we don't really let it go through the system that one day they're going to leave. So we don't, I don't know whether they're going to leave or they're going to do, they're not going to be there. So even as we work, even as you work with your partner or your spouse as a partnership, it's more of coming together. Not a partner, but we come together to do this thing, but we are not yet friends. We tolerate each other nicely, so we are not fighting. And when there are conflicts, we try and avoid them so that we don't rock the boat too much. Therefore, we talk about superficial things, but nothing below the surface. So now that automatic flowing through life, for a lot of people, is what is hitting. When that abrupt change comes, that is what is devastating. But for the other people, if ever a couple sits down and actually plans, like for me and my wife, once upon a time sat down and planned, what is it about us as a couple? What we want to see about ourselves? Then what do we want to see about our family? You know, we've had those conversations. So at the core of everything, it's about me and her. So that we have each other and we know we support each other. So even this time when all of a sudden, yes, it was still a surprise. Children have gone and all of a sudden there is, you know, things change, you know. Like, one of the things I say, something simple. We always used to eat dinner together. Now the kids are gone. One is eating at 6, the other one is eating at 9. You know, something as simple as that. It changes. And it changes the dynamics. So we had to actually have that mkutano with ourselves and come back and actually say, you know what, we need to start changing certain things about us. Otherwise, you find yourself, she's drifting this way, and I'm also going through this way. So we had to actually start thinking about what is it we have to do. And at the core of that, which is a different journey and a different thing that everybody needs to do, is ask yourself as a person, yeah, what are you here for?
What's your purpose?
What's your purpose? What are you here for? Because you're not just here on earth just to float through life.
All right.
Yes.
All right. You know, Serafina, you talked about during this period when now your last born was living, again, then you're also going through grief at the time. How did you manage to cope with these two heavy situations?
The grief part was difficult because, you know, when somebody, my husband died of a heart attack, and I was due to pick him up from hospital the following morning, so he passed on the night before. So first and foremost, my mind just stopped. I actually suffered memory loss for quite some time. I would forget things, and one of the best attributes I've had in my whole life is an excellent memory. I never forget people, I don't forget things, but it started happening. I would forget what I was going to do.
Yeah.
So it was very difficult for me, and because it was so internal, it was hard to talk about it. One of the things that helped me is the fact that my dad was very, very close to me. He started coming home every single day to sit with me, and he'd say, if you need to talk, if you need to go anywhere, tell me. So he'd come literally like every day for a whole 3 months. That helped me a lot. My siblings, the rest of the family, my mother-in-law, and I would keep quiet. And then my friends, my childhood friends, who I call my sisters, there are 6 of them from one family. We were very, very close from the age of 15 to the present. We are still friends. So they stayed with me. One of them is a nurse, and they made sure that I was not alone. They would come and sit around me, ensure that I was eating, because I was even unable to eat. I was unable to sleep, but they really helped me. They would come there, ask me how I'm feeling, or just sit quietly by me, and then pray with me, because I was very angry. I'm going to pick up my husband, and then he's gone. Why have you allowed this to happen? I was very, very angry. So being with people helped. And then also one of the members from school where my daughter went, Anan and the PTA chair, they decided to come and spend time with me, and they said, we need you to join the PTA so that you can be busy doing something. So you're not just sitting at home and being sad and feeling aggrieved. Yeah, it helped.
It did.
Having company, people who care, who are concerned, it really helped me. And also praying a lot. Yes, all right. Praying a lot.
Those are some of the emotional responses Serafina went through.
Yes.
But what are some of those emotional responses that you see, common ones, with empty nesters?
So yes, there is definitely a sense of depression. And depression is, I like saying it's a sense of loss of happiness or joy for life. So if your children were the source of your joy, when they're gone, then there's no joy. Yeah, there's definitely going to be a sense of anxiety. What am I going to do? How am I going to fill my time? Yeah, that one of my structure was like this. I was taking my children to school. Yeah. Now, all of a sudden, I do not take them to school. So what do I do with myself? And then, of course, that bit which we hardly ever talk about, the loss of identity. Like, who am I? Now that they are not there, who am I? And it can be very confusing. It can be very... if it's something that you have not thought about previously. Now, all of a sudden... the children are not there, so in a sense, you're not a father, you're not a mother, in a sense. Yeah, the things that were defining you, they're not there anymore. Yeah. And this also applies, by the way, in other fields. Like when you hear about people who retire, the guy was being called engineer or daktari. Yeah, and all of a sudden now they stop being daktari or engineer. Yeah, then who are they? Yeah. So there's definitely going to be a grief
Right.
of that role. Yeah, and it will come with all the other things. The sleepless nights, the anxiety. Definitely for some people it will come with physical symptoms.
Yeah.
The even ulcers, or because of the anxiety, you have all bowel movements. Yeah.
You're talking about
Yes.
me. You're
Yes.
talking about me. Let's take a very short break, because I'm also I'm a partial empty nester, just like you,
Okay.
and I've been feeling those things, and I'm thinking, are you seeing through me? Let's take a very short break, but we'll be right back with much more on this amazing conversation. We went out to speak to Kenyans and asking them what are some of the changes they noticed when their kids left home. Let's listen in to what they had to say.
It's like over 10 years since they started living by themselves, and by that time their father had departed. So nimekuja nikizoea. I have come, nimekuja nikizoea. Na juu mimi ni mhubiri, I'm busy. Like now tumekutana na wewe nikiwa shughuli zangu. So like now I'm not experiencing all that loneliness that like there before.
The major one is the freedom in the house for discussion, other matters which might be private, financially, because they go and depend on themselves. So you find now purchasing other things, they are lowered.
There was a great change because we were looking forward for that. Because the Bible says, the man shall live and will cleave to the wife, and the two shall become one. And whenever one's daughter, ours is a daughter, when she got married, we were happy. So we visit them because they are not very far from where we live, maybe 30 kilometers. But every week we have to go there, and there are sometimes, because the husband, my son-in-law works, so he would travel maybe for a week or two. During those 2 weeks, they come to our place, and like recently they were there for two weeks, and it's a great joy.
I'm a father of 3, 2 girls, and they are grown up. Wakati waliolewa, I miss them so much kwa sababu we used to have a fellowship every evening. Na wakati walipoenda, I feel ni kama I'm so much lonely.
Hakuna kitu imebadilika, tuko sawa. Mimi na bibi yangu tuko sawa. Kama tumekaa tu, naonanga watoto yangu wanakuja, tunakaa na wao huko, tunafurahia. Kwa hivyo ni sawa.
What an amazing, amazing feedback right there from Kenyans who actually, some of those things we were discussing here already, we've mentioned them here. There are those who are actually happy that their kids are out there. There are those who are feeling empty completely. Like, we used to sit, we used to eat together and all those things. And so that's, part of the feedback that we've gotten from Kenyans out there. And we'll be discussing part of that. Remember, 20316 SMS line for your questions, feedback, 0786316316. That is our WhatsApp line, and also to be part of this amazing ministry that we are having this morning here, impacting lives out there. You can do that by sending the word partner to 20316 SMS line or 0786316316 again WhatsApp line, and also to support, collaborate with us, partner with us, and be a collaborator with us. You can do that through our paybill number 316316. The pay bill name will be your telephone number. Let's get back to the conversation, lady and gentlemen. Now, someone there said, they're okay as long as the grandkids come over.
Yeah, interesting.
Is that how is that what you experience? Is that how you feel?
I would say that it takes thinking carefully and intentionally about how you're going to manage now that the children are out.
Yeah.
First and foremost, they have their own families, they have their jobs, and in my case, my adult children were away, they were out of the country for over 20 years, actually.
Wow.
So the thing that helped me was the fact that we were in touch on phone, regularly talking on phone.
Yeah.
In those days, email was the thing. I sent a lot of emails, and some of it in my mother tongue, because my children speak fluent Kimeru.
Wow.
So even some of the text messages are in Kimeru. I would share jokes with them, things that I've seen around, things that I recall when I was growing up,
Yeah.
something my grandmother said or my dad, and we'd laugh a lot. And I think that laughter really helped us to cope, to be able to live again, and to enjoy life.
Okay.
I think it is something that takes a conscious decision.
Yeah.
Because for me, happiness is a choice.
It is.
And my
It
children,
is.
as I said, going away, I mean, I've not been abandoned. It is a
Right.
decision we made for them to go and study away from home.
Okay.
So how can I be unhappy about that? It means that my life is different, and I have to find useful things to do to keep myself busy.
Okay.
People ask me, hey, Mom, you live alone? I say, yes. Don't you ever get bored? I said, never. How? I am so busy. My mind is busy. It is active. I read books. I sing.
In fact, I was
dance.
coming to that, and you're going to tell us
I
about
do so
singing
many
and dancing
things.
when you're alone in that
Yeah.
house. Francis, coping. Oh, you want to add something before I ask you a question?
I think she's correct, completely correct in
Yeah.
only that. Really, first and foremost, happiness is a choice, and it's interesting.
Yeah.
We say it like, you know, like a cliche, happiness is a choice, but it's actually true.
It
You
is.
have to decide to choose happiness.
Right.
And when you decide to choose happiness, then you build the systems around you that are going to be able to sustain or
Yeah.
help you get to that happiness. Because, for example, for me, yeah, children have gone.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, especially that first term, those evenings were long.
I can
I tell you,
imagine.
those
I can
evenings were
imagine.
long. Yeah, and you actually notice that, you know, even as we're not talking as much, we're
Yeah.
not spending as much time. So yes, one of the things is actually to, what else can you do
Right.
with your time?
Right.
Yeah. So I picked up the guitar, started learning how to play the guitar.
Good.
My wife has picked up the piano. She also is learning how to play the piano. In fact, the end of that year, we had a concert where we were playing Christmas carols with
Wow.
our family.
Beautiful.
So nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I've picked up painting. Yeah, and I know I do a couple of painting every so often.
Yeah.
So keeping yourself busy is definitely a big thing.
Okay.
For us who are slightly younger and we're still working, learning. Get on those courses that you can
Right.
keep yourself busy,
Right.
grow professionally. I started giving webinars that I was not giving in the evening. Yeah, a big thing that again happened is I started volunteering in church services. So I'm also giving back to society.
Right.
These are the things that will keep you going.
Right.
One of the things is that idleness can be a very big. The devil likes checking in at that particular
Yes,
point.
yes.
So
An
you need
idle
to-
mind is a devil's
Yeah,
workshop.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's important to keep yourself busy.
Okay.
Whether it is reading, I went back to reading my novels. It's important to keep busy.
Busy.
And not just keep busy for the sake of keeping busy,
Right.
but keep busy with a plan that is actually working towards my happiness. A very, very big part of that, again, has to do with how you treat your body. Yeah, physical activity,
Wellness, yeah.
how you're eating. Because if you're just sitting at home, it's
Yeah.
very easy to grab that snack and that fruit,
Yeah.
and the next thing you know, you've added 3 or 10 kgs
Right.
without, you know, and which adds more stress and again impacts how your
Other issues,
self-esteem,
absolutely.
and the cycle goes on and on.
Yeah, true,
You know.
true.
So
you
you
don't want to become a couch potato.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, and,
Yeah,
and sitting
yeah.
there and just
Yeah.
watching TV and TV
Yes.
and TV.
And having a sorry party.
And sorry parties, yes. All this, it's important that people actually think about their happiness and then put the structures around them to actually walk towards that happiness.
Okay. And I also think it would be fair for the children to know that mommy is fine, mommy is happy, dad is okay. Because
Yes.
again, when we keep on like, oh, when will you come back? I think it also takes a toll on them. I don't know,
Exactly.
does it?
I mean, in a sense, this is what parentifying. It's as if you want your children start taking care of you.
Exactly.
Yes, which is not a very nice thing. I like telling parents
Yeah.
that the best gift you can give to your children is your own happiness. Yeah. As soon as you are happy, then your children have the freedom and to actually pursue their own happiness.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Otherwise, they are going to be tied to you. They're going to be enmeshed with you, and they're always going to feel responsible for you, and they cannot pursue their own pursuits without, we need to be able to free them, and the only way you free them is
by being happy.
Happy.
Okay.
Yes.
And also, in that case, being happy involves making them understand that it is good for them to remember you.
Yes.
Now, they don't have to be reminded that you're there.
Exactly.
But it is important for them to stay in touch with you.
Exactly.
To keep track of what you're doing. That's why I talk about I am on phone with my children and grandchildren a lot, and we do video calls.
Exactly.
Because then I can see my grandchildren, I can see my children, and we tease each other. What kind of day are you going to have? And depending on how they look, I'll have something to say about it.
Yeah.
And we will laugh, and that will be a beautiful day.
You're right.
Yeah, keeping in touch
I think that's very
is
important.
very, very
Yes,
important.
yes.
Actually,
because life is now different, but you have a wider set of people to talk to, family members. These young ones are learning from you.
True.
Your own children now are parents. How is that going?
I think that
what kind of day
is
have you had?
important. Yeah,
so those conversations are very,
check-ins,
very important.
Very important.
Checking in with each other.
Very true.
Because I know a lot of parents who feel that their children are too busy, have forgotten them, especially when they've gone away from home. They have new families, and they rarely talk to their parents or even are able to come.
Wow.
Because sometimes you have to save money to travel, to come back home.
Right.
It's not easy where they are. People think sometimes being abroad life is easy. It isn't.
It isn't.
It is a challenge everywhere.
Okay.
That's why I keep saying you have to make a conscious decision about staying in touch with your parents, you staying in touch with your children, and finding things to do, spending your time usefully and happily. It is not a mourning season. It is a new season.
I'm looking at it like a long-distance relationship. It can be because your husband or your spouse is on the other side, then really you don't have even things to do. I hosted someone here, and they were talking about how they even play board games, online. So really, there are solutions out here. Let's get to the socials. Someone is saying, Sally and the guests, good morning, and thank you for this topic, especially for people like us who are empty nesters and don't know what to do with ourselves. To the Daktari, how important is it for a couple to be friends, especially during this period? What are the risks? And then to Serafina, how do you define fulfillment at this stage of life, and some fears that you faced during transition and how you overcame them? So Francis, I think you can go first in terms of how important, I think we had mentioned it earlier, is it for couples to be friends, especially during this period? And what are the risks if you're not friends? So
I'm hoping that couples would actually start working on their friendships as early as possible. Right from the moment they say I do. Those days people take it for granted that friendship comes easy. But life, so it's important that you actually cultivate friendship, and you cultivate it deliberately over time, so that when transitions happen, and they are going to happen, not just emptiness, retirement, other things are going to come. It's important that you have a connection, you have a partnership where we can talk about these things, where we can talk about what else to do, how to come together, because one of the risks, the biggest risk, is actually drifting apart. Yeah. True. Nowadays we talk about, for example, golf widows. Yeah. A golf widow is that woman who is left in the house, for example, when the husband has gone to play golf, and they play golf from Monday till Sunday, at 8 a.m. till 10 p.m. Yeah. And they have no connection.
Right. Yes.
Or you find that the lady is always in chamas and women's guild and Yeah.
And
Yes.
and those tours, the girls, like, they're going to Dubai, to Mombasa,
Thank
Girls
you.
without their spouse.
Yes.
Girls only, yes.
So you find that there's actually a divergence in the
Yeah.
house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where
Yes.
people's life actually becomes completely separate.
Yes.
So we are living together, but we are not together. Yeah, and that of course has leaves room for very many things to
Yeah.
happen, very
Yeah.
many misunderstandings. So that's one of the biggest risks.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you're not that close, then of course divorce, separations.
And that
all manner
happens
of
quite a
things.
bit during this period, by the way, from my research, isn't it?
But I wouldn't say it's related.
No, it's not related, but what they say is, like what you just said, that friendship, if it's not there, I start going with my girls to Dubai, he's going with the golf things, to, you know, with that you drift apart, then what?
Then what? Yes. It's actually true that at around 20 to 25 years, we have quite a number of marriages.
Yeah.
That's 20, 25 years of living together. And because by that time, yes, the children have left.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I discover that I am more than a father. I would like to pursue, you know, learn how to kite surf in Mombasa and go to, and she wants to travel with a girl.
Yeah.
She's never really had friends to be free with, so she goes on the trips. So we want to discover each other, and in that discovery, yes, people will part ways.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and that's why it's important to actually cultivate that friendships, have shared hobbies, have shared activities that we would like to be able to do together.
Yeah, and I think to add to that is that the friendship needs to begin early. It has to be a seed you planted early in your relationship.
Not now that the kids
Because
are
when you understand each other as friends, the difference that has happened is that children have gone.
Yes.
But you are back together again.
Back together.
So it has to be something you invested in early in your relationship, so that you're not feeling uncomfortable that, say, your husband is going to play golf, which you don't understand, and you keep thinking or remembering things that you've heard from people who have never played golf, and they're telling you the negative aspects of men playing golf minus the women. So you yourself have to be a friend to your husband and vice versa, so that you can release each other to enjoy your hobbies and try to understand the benefits of this hobby that you don't know about. What is he getting from it, and how can you support it? And he too, how can he support you in the hobbies that you have chosen to engage in to keep yourself busy? Friendship is important. It does not mean that we must like similar things, but we can support each other's interests.
Support,
yes.
very, very important.
We can support each other's interests.
Okay.
And also give yourself space to learn new ones.
Exactly.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's always important to learn new things, and especially things that will bring you together.
Exactly.
So if you, like us guys, we picked hiking and climbing mountains, and it has been a lot of fun.
Wow, wow. Okay, interesting. Then there's a question for you, Serafina. Someone is saying, how do you define fulfillment at this stage? And, you know, some of the fears that maybe you faced during that transition and how you overcame them.
Thank you for that question. Fulfillment is, how can I put it? As a parent, you have expectations about your marriage, about your children, and what you'd like to see them become in life. Education is a big thing. It always has been. So one of the aspects of fulfillment is that the children have been able to go to schools that they chose with our support to go to, and they are doing something with their lives. Out of that, there is fulfillment in knowing that they are settled, they are doing well. And you yourself have reached a point where you can see what God has done for you. Because to tell you the truth, nobody can tell you exactly what they did for their children or even themselves to reach where they are. Nobody has that manual. This is one area where it is on-the-job training. You learn as you do. So you feel fulfilled that you have achieved that goal of ensuring that your children have got education. They are working at things that they like. They are living lives that are successful, joyful. Even where things are not working, you are talking to each other. You are helping each other think of solutions and how to manage the situations. So that gives me a lot of fulfillment because for me it is an answered prayer. I prayed, I was hoping that this is what I would see, and I see it.
Amen.
So that gives me a very beautiful sense of fulfillment.
Right.
Because I didn't do it alone. Without God, I can't succeed. It's true. That is the one thing I know.
Okay.
Yes.
As we come towards the end of the show, Francis, briefly, maybe you can tell us about, you know, there are parents who just look at their kids and they feel like they're failures while their kids are progressing and doing well. How would you speak to that?
Yeah, it's one of those things that we see in humans that is a bit weird. Yeah, in that we want our children to remain children. Yeah. Once in a while, I do look at my daughter, for example, and I keep asking, what happened to the small girl? You know?
Yeah.
And my son, now he's taller than me, and he's doing all the you know, we want them to be small so that we can look at them. We want them to continue being needy and to support us.
Yeah.
Because that gives us some kind of validation. Yeah. Now, once they are free and they're out there doing their own thing, yes, for a lot of people, yes, it's still a sense of pride. Yeah. But then it means that they no longer need us.
Yeah.
And you know, there is a sense of weird sense of fulfillment that I'm still needed. Yeah. That you want them to continue still needing you and looking up to you. So it's a weird thing. What we normally say is that parents need to be able to really work on themselves.
Yeah.
So that they don't need external validation. Yeah. These external things. And you'll find that that happens when the person doesn't know exactly what it is that they do, or who they are, what is that fulfills them. Yeah. And therefore they just need external, especially from the children.
Okay.
It's a weird thing, but
it is.
It's not to be encouraged.
I know, even me, sometimes I keep telling my kids, like, you know, let's go to the sun. Mom, I found another one.
Yes.
Like now they're independent. They want their own, their friends and all that. So very important. Serafina, your closing remarks as you speak or say something to your children who are also not around, to your grandchildren. Just a closing remark briefly as we wind up.
Yeah, thank you for this opportunity, talking about my life and how it has been. The transition that somebody asked about, I was helped to go through that by keeping myself busy, as I said.
Yeah.
I'm always busy. I have a book. I love reading. I enjoy taking walks with friends where I live.
Okay.
It is a lot of fun because I get to enjoy fresh air. I speak to my children every week on phone, and I thank God for them because they are my friends.
Yeah.
My children and I have always been friends throughout, even with their dad. We were all friends.
Right.
It's an amazing relationship, and the same has gone on to my grandchildren.
Okay.
So we share jokes, we have fun, and so on. In fact, I don't even have a TV at home. I don't need it.
Oh.
I don't watch TV. I am busy.
Okay.
Enjoying life. Talking to my children, and I mean so many things. Church.
Fantastic.
My former classmates. I'm in a WhatsApp group with them.
Yes.
So my life is full of joy. Even when things may be not working to my expectation, that doesn't put me back at all.
Let's end it right there. Very beautiful, very, very beautiful conversation. I've enjoyed it. I know you feel like it was short, because it's quite lovely, you know, quite impactful, I believe. And, you know, I just want to say a very big thank you, Asanteni Sana. And to your children, they should know that they're very lucky to have you guys as parents. You keep thinking about them, talking about them, and that kind of relationship, amazing. Thank you so much also for your feedback, you know, dear listener of yours, wherever you're joining us from. Thank you so much for just being part of this. And remember, you, as I had mentioned earlier, for you to support this particular ministry, you can do that through pay bill number 316. Account name is your telephone number. And also we have, you know, our cooperative bank account number, which is 0113600799100, and that's our cooperative bank account number. So God bless you and keep you. See you again next week on Family Matters, Tuesday through to Thursday. God bless.